Hey everybody, Shane Presley here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rock Paper Podcast. I have a couple exciting things I want to let you know about, including December 10th. We'll be back out at Naked Vine for my monthly singer-songwriter storytelling showcase featuring Jackson Stokes, Caroline Steinkamp, and Alexander Rui. This is a $10 cover for the show, 7 o'clock start. And if you haven't been out yet, this is an intimate listening experience. 3 writers sitting on stools, sharing stories behind their songs, and they're a whole lot of fun out there. So come on by. And if you haven't been to Naked Vine, you're missing out. A lot of great music, wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers going on out there in Chesterfield, Missouri. Swing by and visit them this week for some great live music from Walter Greiner and Paul Niehaus on Thursday, December 5th. On Friday, December 6th, Kevin Buckley Trio. And Saturday, December 7th, the Dust Covers return. You can find all this and more at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'm very excited to introduce a brand new show sponsor. Today's episode brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler. Visit them in Maplewood, Missouri at 7282 Manchester Road, and swing by and visit them and grab some different beard oils or tattoo balm they make out there. They have this American Rambler has this product called junk powder, and I'll let you figure out what that's for. But really good stuff. You can visit them online at roughneckbeardcompany.com or americanrambler.com. And you can use my code RPP15 for exclusive 15% off any of your online purchases. So, yeah, be sure to check them out. Support local. They're doing wonderful things over there at Roughneck Beard Company. And they also located on Facebook and Instagram if you want to get involved socially. So, also want to say thank you to Heil Sound as I'm recording this intro today on my brand new Heil microphone. Been loving using this thing, and I think you should go visit them at heilsound.com and grab some new gear yourself. So, with all that out of the way, I want to say thank you to everybody that's listening, and I've been continuing to tell friends about the show. If you are interested in a hat or a shirt or just want to say hi or let me know what you think of the show, feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from you. All right, everybody, sit back, enjoy this episode. Have a great day.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Andrew Dahle, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, I know, 'cause I've already been told your heart is seeking shelter from the cold. And I feel that this could be something real. Ain't no need to reinvent the wheel. So in time, if you so feel inclined, take my hand, walk with me side by side. I'll ride you a turn, I'll be the Johnny to your Joe. Folsom Blues and write you a tune. Oh, is that a crime? And if so, I'll do the time. You can be the Bonnie to my Clyde if that's a crime. Well, I read in the news that love is dead, fell apart, unraveled like a thread. So what if we could just find a place to flee, run away and together we'll be free. And all alone I put you upon a throne. We'd be the king and queen of a land that no one knows. I'll write you a tune, I'll be the Johnny to your June, sing you the Folsom Blues and write you a tune. Oh, is that a crime? And if so, I'll do the time. You can be the Bonnie to my Clyde if that's a crime. No, it's not the way that you look at me or the way that you catch me when I fall. It's just knowing you'll be there for me, knowing you'll be with me through it all. So it goes like the petals on a rose. Time takes over and your age begins to show. And in the end, my last minute is spent. I'll be alone again, but until then, I'll write you a tune. I'll be the Johnny to your June, sing you the Folsom Blues and write you a tune. Oh, is that a crime? And if so, I'll do the time. You can be the Bonnie to my Clyde if that's a crime. I'll write you a tune, I'll be the Johnny to your June, I'll sing you the Folsom Blues and write you a tune. Oh, is that a crime? And if so, I'll do the time. You can be the Bonnie to my Clyde, that's a crime.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri, hanging out today with Andrew and the Dahles. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. It's good to be back.
I guess at least we've got about half the band, right?
We've got,
yeah,
we've got three of us.
Three MIA.
So you all want to properly introduce yourselves for everybody listening?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm Josh. I'm the drummer of the band. And I'm also the second longest member of the group, or whatever you want to say. Been part of the band
Great
second
intro,
longest.
Josh.
You know what?
You're
It's
doing
all
a
right.
great job.
Hey, anyway, I've been part of the band since day one, and it's really cool to make it up here. But anyway, I'm Josh.
Hi, Josh. I'm Ashley. I do vocals, and I guess I'd be one of the dolls. And I am the most shortest member of the band, aka the newest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that getting really loud?
I can hear it a little bit. We got special guests in the house tonight too.
Apollo.
We got Apollo here with
Paul's
us.
our mascot.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a French bulldog. He's real cute.
We'll put a little foreshadowing for some Frenchie ASMR later.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What about you over there? What's your name?
I guess I'm Andrew Dahle.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
And I'm that's not the right forum. I'm the singer-songwriter of the group, I guess, and vocals and rhythm guitar. I wish I could play a mean lead guitar, but I'll leave that to Brent.
Yeah.
We're missing Brent Feldman tonight and Audrey Kwong on the violin and Andrew Manger on bass. So
Nice. Yeah.
they're all out doing things tonight, and most of them are out of town. Audrey's out of town. Andrew's out of town, and Brent's at the Fox. So
That sounds pretty cool, though. Sounds like a pretty good time. I mean,
he was supposed to be here though, so I'm a little mad. I'm a little bit angry.
You know, it's no podcast in the basement, but you know, hey,
you know
what? No, it's. I'm glad to be here. I'm like, we did do one of these, me and Andrew, a little while back, and got to hang out, and kind of was a nice introduction to what you guys were kind of doing, and kind of we shared some of his songs and played some live acoustic stuff, and that was a lot of fun. But now the band's running on all cylinders, and we're working on a brand new album and all kinds of stuff. So we got a lot of things to talk about and catch up on. But I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of the history, a little bit more of the history, especially with you all here, about how this group came to be, how we even formed Andrew and the Dahles.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So basically, I was just playing guitar solo and writing songs, and the rest kind of fell in place, honestly. I posted a song of me doing a cover on Facebook, and an old boss of mine from an old internship messaged me and was like, "Hey man, you got more guitars than I do," because I've got a pretty extensive guitar collection. You could see it in the background of the video. And I was like, "Yeah man, I like guitars a little bit." He's like, "We should jam." I didn't really think much of it, but I was like, "Okay." And then sure enough, he came over, and it was kind of this weird. It was kind of weird for a little bit, because here I am like jamming with like a boss, like an old boss I hadn't seen for like 6 years. And now we're equals playing guitar in my basement. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. And so that's actually Brent Feldman, my lead guitarist. And so he kind of encouraged me to keep writing, and we did a couple open mics together, like Venice Cafe and stuff. And it went over pretty well. And then the second member, Josh, as he so eloquently described it earlier.
What can I say?
He was the second one to kind of jump aboard, and that kind of fell in my lap. He was friends with my roommate at the time, and he was living in Chicago, where he's from, and he was moving down here to pursue a career opportunity. And we were going out one night to, God knows where we were going. We were going to be, hoodlums just running around and
Soulard, probably.
Yeah. And so we're out one night, and I was getting pretty drunk, and I was like, "Hey Josh, you have anywhere to live? You want to just move in with us?" Not thinking, I have a pretty small house. And then later Zach was like, you told Josh he could move in with us. And I was like, did I really? This house is way too small for 3 people. And then I get to really know Josh and really like the guy, and I'm really thankful for it, because he moved in and we started jamming together, and he started going to open mics with us, and the 3 of us really started kind of hitting the open mic scene, and we ended up getting like a gig at Joni's. We got a gig at Urban Chestnut and a couple other gigs, and it just sort of turned into something bigger. And that's when we finally picked up Audrey at some point at Gaslight Studios. We ran into her, and she started hanging out and being part of the band, and then we picked up Andrew Manger. He came and jammed with me from one of my 1860s residency spots.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was
Thursdays.
a sub at 1860s.
Yeah, he came in. He played viola for me one time at 1860s, and then he's like, I was like, man, we already got a violin. I can't really use a viola. Sorry, man. He's like, well, I play bass too. And I was like, yeah, we do need a bass player. Come on.
It was meant to
Come on with it. And so he started playing bass for us. And then Ashley jumped on board after a while. I ran into her at Lou Fest, and we've known each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Years.
6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And then I ran into her at Lou Fest, and she was like, yeah, I'm into singing and stuff. And I was like, well, that's cool. Come and, hang out with us and try her hand at like backup vocals. And she's been killing it. So
Yeah, man. Very cool.
And that's how we rounded out the whole band.
Yeah. So Lou Fest, though, then that must be put us back like...
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put us back about 2 years, I guess, then?
Yeah, that was
years.
the year before it got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We ran into each other.
Was it outside of who was playing at that stage?
The Cage the Elephant
Cage
was
the
there.
Elephant. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
And,
Andrew was way in the back because he's like taller than everybody.
Super tall. Well, I just had come
And I
from
totally- yeah, I
Houndmouth.
saw
I
you.
think Houndmouth was playing, and then I came up from them into Cage the Elephant. And my dog is crying so bad right now. He so badly wants to be part of this.
He wants to be interviewed.
Don't worry, we'll do French Bulldog SMR later.
I forgot to get him a mic, man.
So the band, we got the lineup together, and things have been coming together nicely. You guys been playing around town a lot, all the dialing in all these songs, getting everything sounding real nice, and we are currently gearing up to release the debut, right?
Yeah, debut album. Yep.
Yeah. So the day you're hearing this is today, December 3rd. The official announcement will be coming out that you guys have booked the Ready Room for your official release party
Yeah.
for this debut album. And so that's going to be, it's huge, man. That's this big step, you know?
Yeah, it's a big step to take, and I think we're sort of like stepping off a ledge here and hoping that, we catch ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we've played the off-Broadway and stuff, but I think the Ready Room's like the biggest venue we've ever tried to book.
We're real excited.
We're really excited. They were pretty receptive to it all, and Colin, who booked us at the Ready Room, he's heard the album and everything, and kind of gave us the green light. So hopefully that gives everybody listening to this confidence that you should buy the album.
For sure.
So that's happening actually March 7th at the Ready Room.
Right.
Doors at 7, show starts at 8. We're going to have 100 people start us off, and then we're going to have Boxcar, the band, play, and then we'll take the stage. So around 10:30.
Tickets are available for purchase today
10:30.
at thereadyroom.com. And so head on over there and purchase some tickets. You save you some money. You get them $10 today and $12 you said at the door?
12 at the door, yep.
Yeah, so save a couple bucks and go ahead and grab those tickets before they're gone. But yeah, like I said, you guys are gearing up for this record. We're still finalizing everything, but you guys are working on those recordings. And where are you guys recording at?
So we're recording it at Gaslight mostly. Yeah. So we've got Gaslights who are live tracking this whole album, and so we're just basically playing like we would a live show, and we just take the best take out of 2 or 3 go rounds, and then we take that and we do vocals here in my home studio, and then we send it off to Portland where my buddy who does a really good job mixes it all up and masters it. So the only thing we've got done so far is our single that's coming out on the 10th called Big Muddy Blues, and I guess it's going to be exclusively available here starting today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, let's talk about this song. This will be the first single, obviously, like you said, and this is you gave me a little advanced sneak peek, and I got to hear what you all have been up to, and it sounds really good. I was really digging it. And,
thanks, man.
I just and I think it's fun too that it's titled Big Muddy Blues, which obviously has a lot of ties to St. Louis. And I don't know if that was the thinking behind it, if that was the goal and stuff, but obviously Big Muddy Blues Festival and everything, and Big Muddy Records and everything else. There's a lot of ties to St. Louis there with that title. So
yeah, it definitely was intentional.
right.
We wrote that. Brent actually wrote the initial hook for it, or the initial rhythm, guitar part to it with that dun 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 dun, and we knew then it was going to be on the bluesier side of rock, and we just started. I think that day we were kind of jamming. I was like, I think this is going to be Big Muddy Blues. Mm-hmm. It's about drowning people in the Big Muddy that we don't like.
Classic.
Politicians and taxmen and all the people that everybody else has issues with as well, I think.
Yeah.
taking him to the river. I'm gonna save us all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going to a party where they only play the big money blues. If you're going to the party, remember your summer shoes. Now it seems like the tax man has opened up a can of worms. Seems like the whole damn town is involved, but I can't confirm. So I'm sending out the invites to the whole damn town. Now the river water's rising, while the population's going down, 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 yeah. We're going to a party where they only play the big muddy blues. If you're going to the party, remember your summer shoes. Now I'm going down to town hall to meet with the mayor man. He's a big talking politician with crazy hair and little hands. So your laws and regulations, they're no good for this town. So I'm taking him to a place where everybody is on their way down, 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 yeah. We're going to a party where they only play the big muddy blues. If you're going to the party, remember your summer shoes.
Yeah, man. So you're going to get this exclusively here on Rock Paper Podcast for the week, but then, like I said, available streaming everywhere on the December 10th.
December 10th, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So keep an eye out for that. And be sure to follow along on Facebook and Instagram and everything for more details.
Right, yeah, that'll be the first of the singles coming out. And we haven't released the names of the other singles coming out, but we're going to have a single, two other singles leading up to the full album release.
Right on. Was this all your first time in this recording properly in the studio, or do you all do more of that in other projects?
I was in a punk band before.
Okay.
When I lived up in the Chicago area, and we recorded some songs. Never a full album, but we had some singles that we recorded. This is the first time doing a full album, and it's been a real cool project to work on.
Yeah, man.
And then Brent's been in the studio a couple times, I think, for other projects. Andrew's been in studios. And then we've been as a band in the studio before working on this same album. This is our third go round. So we're pretty used to this studio by now.
Yeah.
And we're just really happy with the way this one's turning out. We've tried a couple different methods and recorded a bunch of different songs. Probably recorded 30 different songs, honestly. And this is the first time we're like, okay, we've got something here. We like this. We're gonna release this.
Yeah, this is definitely the biggest scale of recording that I've done. I've done some really small, like home microphone and garage band recording, but you can tell there's like momentum behind this project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to like be negative about any of the other places, but what do you think was the difference? Like why those previously didn't work and why it's working today?
Nothing negative about the other places, because actually our first go around was at Gaslight as well.
Yeah.
So this last time at Gaslight, I think we just sort of caught fire.
Yeah.
And previously we just hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing like an instrument by instrument basis to just like a standard click track for the first couple times. And it didn't sound like us because we weren't playing together. We weren't feeling the energy. And even though it was at the same BPM, it didn't have the same soul to it that it does when we all are in the studio together. So that's when we decided we all have to be there and we all have to be in the same room, looking at each other and feeling each other's energy to really kind of get that live sound and with that same energy.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what's unique. I mean, obviously, Gaslight's, definitely unique compared to a lot of our other recording studios in town with the fact that it does have such a live, that big jam, the live room where you can jam like that, where you can have everybody play along. And then the fact that it has the glass where you can open that curtain up and people, so it almost like you have to perform because there's a crowd now and stuff, if that's the route you want to go. So I think it's unique in that sense that, it forces you to rise above and be, and play at a better, instead of just thinking like you're just doing it by yourself, like now you have a crowd to entertain and things. And so,
yeah, the whole concept's very interesting.
Yeah.
There wasn't many people on a Sunday when we were recording. And even if there was, we had the curtains closed.
Right.
It's kind of nice just to be in our own zone.
Sure.
And not think about anybody else.
Right. But I mean, like I said, it's an option though too. Like, that's what's kind of like, forcing you to step up and nail it. Or so I don't know, or like I said, I feel like everybody's different, obviously, So, but
I would never want to do vocals, like with just my vocals, being bled out to the bar. That would be. They don't know other music. They just hear just vocals.
Right.
No, no reverb, nothing. That would be an experiment.
That's the second album.
Yeah.
All a cappella.
Yeah.
No filters. No. Just me.
Still called Andrew and the Dolls, but just Andrew singing.
Well, I'll beatbox.
Me playing.
And then Josh
And me
beatboxing.
playing the other dolls too.
Could you imitate one of us?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I'd even want to try, honestly.
I just watched Frozen the other day, and Frozen 2, and there's no spoilers, but there's a song in there, and I forget his name, but he sings a song, and it's like this power ballad, like Queen type of scene, and then there's actually a part where they like kind of even like do like that Queen Bohemian Rhapsody where like the four faces like lit up in the dark and stuff like that. And but I saw online some kind of like BuzzFeed article that was saying like all these facts, and they said that he there's like this chorus kind of part in where he layered 18 vocals. He did all 18 vocal tracks or something like that, whatever it was, 1821 or something, whatever. But a lot of these vocal tracks and then like to create this sound and stuff. So like, I just like thought that was pretty wild. Like to imagine like he's singing lead and then how he had to sing the song, 18 different times on all these different vocal tracks and to layer it and stuff and to create the chorus sound and stuff that they had in there. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting. Like that could be something for you guys. You'd be.
We actually did some of that on Big Muddy Blues.
Yeah.
Where it's like me in the background just doing like oohs and stuff, like underneath, like tucked in under like us actually singing, just to give it that oomph,
Extra oomph. And we started playing with some live stuff too with Andrew Menger on bass doing like a third harmony on a couple
just trying to layer vocals.
Parts. Yeah,
that's what makes everything sound so
powerful.
rich and full, is everybody singing along. And
yeah. Well, very cool. So again, keep an eye out. March
7th, yeah.
March 7th.
At the Ready Room.
Oh, yeah.
Shane will be there.
I'll be there.
Are you going to be there?
I'm a maybe.
I'll probably be there.
Can I bring a +1?
They buy a ticket.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And a record.
That's true.
And a gas
Might as well
can.
get the hat. and
you're
shirt
with
combo.
Josh? You better buy all of us before we let you
This
in.
is your test.
Yeah, we got cool T-shirts coming, cool hats. It's gonna be good. The whole gasoline themes. We went like retro with it, and it's kind of cool.
Super cool.
Yeah. Is there so I mean I'm guessing some of these kind of favorites at some of the shows are those are going to appear on this, or we
On the album?
Yeah,
some that you can guarantee are going to be on there is Big Muddy Blues, obviously. Gasoline, the title track, which is one of the favorites. Freight Train's going to be on there, which has been a huge crowd favorite. I know of somebody now that's probably streamed it 800 times by herself. And so Freight Train's going to be on there. Well, I Know will be on there. That's been a crowd favorite. And then everything else is sort of up in the air right now. We've got more than 10 recordings, and we're going to pare it down, and we've got more to go. So
nice. Yeah. Gasoline is I mean we did that live acoustic here in your house a while back, and it's definitely a fun song. So
Yeah.
Draws on the 90s a lot, the 90s vibe.
we get that. We get people talking about
Alternative
it. I don't
90s.
hear it, but that's just because it's me.
Yeah.
Right? Like what I think my vibe is not what it always is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I was born in the 90s. A lot of 90s influences, so I can imagine.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm like I said, I've heard some of these songs with the band live, and then I've heard some of them just use solo acoustic. So it'd be interesting to hear in the final product and stuff. That's always one of my favorite parts, of a debut record and things like how these songs kind of come to life in a studio and stuff. Where you guys decide to take some different approaches to some, adding different things, layers and stuff like you're saying. And so it's always fun to see what the final product turns out to be like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. It's still morphing too. And that's kind of the fun part is like what we thought it would be originally is not what it's kind of been. Mm-hmm. And it's also sort of helped our live performances too, because recording it, we've heard like different opportunities to do different things. And so it's really been just like a living, breathing sort of project. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. I know I wanted to kind of follow up on what we were talking about just before we pressed record. And we were getting into talk about calzones.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. But
Sauce on the side. Best calzones.
I'm a big fan too. That's why I wanted to bring it up. I hope if I mention them enough, maybe they'll start sponsoring the show, or
That'd be wonderful.
or give me free calzones.
Who did you say? Sauce
there
on the
every week.
side?
Yeah, the sauce on the side.
Never
Yeah.
heard of sauce on the
Sauce on the
side.
side.
My
No.
lord.
My.
You can actually, you know what? You can head over to sauceontheside.com and you can order from the website or the app, and you can they deliver too. So yeah,
They got some good salads too, but I only go there for the calzones.
Do they put the sauce on the side for the salads too?
The queso, I'm going to tell you that
put the queso on the
the
salad.
queso is the best side that they have. I mean, it's all good, but man, I
Is
can
it
eat there
spicy?
every day of the week.
Is it a spicy queso?
No,
No.
no.
But
It's very nice.
I went there for Halloween, actually, dressed as Forky, because I made
Nice.
my own Forky costume.
I saw that.
Yeah. And Stacy was dressed as Woody, and it was a lot of fun. And I had the Duke, and it was delicious.
That's one of my
What's
favorites.
what's on the
It's
Duke?
a good one.
in the Duke?
The Duke is like a barbecue pulled chicken in there, and with bacon
Enough said.
and like a Tex-Mex like corn salsa, and like it's served with like a
This is a man that knows his sauce.
with like a barbecue ranch or like I think it's something like that.
You and Josh could talk for hours about sauce
My favorite's
on
the
the
mini in
side.
St. Louis, which I think is
That's
their
a
like
good one.
original
It's
one.
pretty classic.
Cockadoodle noodle has my heart.
That is
Cockadoodle
But
is
amazing.
good.
I love the Duke. I love the Fatty Bee, and the which came first, which is their like breakfast calzone. Delicious.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe-
gonna stop talking about
Maybe
it.
Andrew and the Dolls can get a sponsorship too. They can sponsor our show.
Sauceontheside.com.
I need to go back. I was because like they do a monthly special, and in November they did the Mayflower, and I only got 2 of them, so I wish I could have got more. But it's like a Thanksgiving and a calzone. It's turkey, and
It's awesome.
Cranberry sauce.
cranberry
They put-
sauce,
oh,
and
stuffing?
sweet yams, and stuffing. Yeah, it's
They also have dessert calzones,
yep.
and they have like special ones every month. Well, I don't know every month, but they have one for Thanksgiving, which is a pumpkin pie
Oh my
calzone,
And they have a Nutella calzone.
Nutella, apple pie.
All of it.
It's
Yep.
all good.
Anyway, but yeah,
Place, what place?
Let's just stop right now. Let's all go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go after this.
everybody pause this podcast and head over to.
In order so they can sponsor.
Deliver.
But I bring it up though because, like, obviously, we were talking and having fond memories of eating calzones, and I was wondering, do you guys get to do that kind of stuff? Like, as a band, do you get to go out to dinner, or do you guys, after a gig, all go somewhere and hang out, and like to get to do that kind of fun stuff, or is it?
Usually we get a band tab at wherever we play,
Yeah.
and so we just hang out and drink and eat there.
Yeah, if there's like another group playing, we like to stick around and
Sure.
and hang out.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
Reflect on how well we played or what we can fix for next time. But we have board game nights and
Yeah, board
and
game
stuff like
nights are
that
the
where we
best.
just kind of we'll meet at a practice time, but instead of having to worry about getting some work done, just have fun and have a few beers.
It's good to I feel like as we get to know each other and
Build
trust
morale.
each other more, like our music is going to be impacted by that too.
Yeah.
What kind of games you guys play?
We played Betrayal at the House on the Hill, the Haunted House on the Hill.
And
we play Exploding Kittens.
I murdered everybody in that.
Yeah.
Settlers
Catan?
of Catan. Is it Catan or Catan?
It's Catan.
That was a big
Whoever
debate
I would
with us.
know because I looked up the directions before we played.
Andrew had never
A
played
good
Settlers
12
before.
hours before we played.
And
'Cause
he was explaining to everyone how to play it when we
Yeah,
when we
I
showed
don't
up.
like to
He's
be that
I've never
person.
played
How to win
it,
it.
but
I don't like to be that person who like shows up to game night and then everybody's like, okay, well, this is how you play this game. I want to be the person
I
who's
appreciate
like,
that you did
oh
your
no, let me
research,
tell you
man.
about this.
Not a
This
lot
is
of
how you
people do
use
that.
resources.
that's true. It's true.
I don't do that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I don't either. I
So,
was that
anyways,
person that
in
night.
like 5 out of the like 6 videos I watched, all said Catan. So
Okay.
I now call it Settlers of
I feel
Catan.
like Shane has the final say.
I have no idea. I'm not, this is the first
This is
I've
your
heard of it.
podcast, Shane. You make a decision.
You make the call. It's Catan.
It's Catan.
Doesn't Catan just feel better to say?
Catan.
No, it sounds like
Satan. I think it's a
I like
soft
that.
C.
I like that.
This is the first I've heard of this game. I don't know anything about it.
it's
so.
fun. Come to one of our game nights.
So,
All right.
yeah, come hang out, man.
Shane's at the next one.
We'll have
Okay.
beer.
We're gonna podcast it.
I have some friends that do it, like not necessarily like, but they've done like trivia and different. They do try to do different games, and not all of them translate to podcast format, but it's always fun. It's just interesting because usually the especially like those different like ones where you have to they hold your mouth open and whatever, that one and stuff, like where you like
What's that one?
You put this thing in your mouth and then you try.
Sure
it
it
tells
is.
you to say words.
Oh yeah.
But how many like consonant and like sounds is it where you need like your lips,
Right.
but you can't use them? So it's like you like try and talk out language. So it's like I'm trying to say that.
Say,
And you can't really say it that well, and so then people have to guess what you're trying to say, and you just look like an idiot.
but those make great audio.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Like so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna sample that and into a ringtone or something.
when you get an email, it's like mashed potato.
But no, that sounds fun. I wish, like I said, that I think that'd probably be one of the best part. I mean, obviously the jamming is always fun, but the just getting the hang, just getting to hang with your buddies and stuff, and especially when there's no pressure to have to get practice in or go of a show or whatever it is, just where you guys can have fun and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, I guess we're gearing towards this record release party and things, and are you guys thinking even past that? Like, do we want to go do some stuff in the summer for like touring wise and stuff? Try to spread the word around town.
Yeah, we've got plans for a couple of festivals around the Midwest, and so hopefully that all kind of comes together. So that's happening. I would love to do a tour at some point, but I just want to kind of wait till our following is there.
Yeah, sure.
And until we release an album and people can listen to us on Spotify regularly, can't really count your chickens before they hatch. I guess.
No, I mean, there's no rush to anything, but I feel like that would be also another great opportunity for bonding with the band, is like, those tour runs and stuff, hitting even if you guys just do weekends up, I always think like, hit Kansas City on a Friday night, Columbia on a Saturday night, and back home by Sunday and stuff,
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, something like that, just to help start, spreading the word out a little wider.
We did the Legacy of Giving Festival
Springfield, Illinois.
in the end of summer or the fall, middle of summer maybe.
Yeah.
In Springfield, Illinois, and that was fun. It was like a last minute thing too. I was playing a show on.
It was so cool. They put
on
us up in a hotel
Thursday
room.
night.
It was nice.
Josh is really excited about it. But I was playing a show on Thursday night, and my buddy texted me, Tyler Armstrong, who's a really good guitar player,
Phenomenal.
and he has a band called Feel, and it's a real good band. But he messaged me because his band wasn't together, and he was like, I need a band to play with me at Legacy of Giving. And I was like, I got you, dude. And so it was me, Josh, and Andrew Manger, our bass player. And we rode up there on Friday afternoon, played, slept there in their tower that looks very phallic.
Yeah.
And
It's a circular
Tower
tower
that doesn't look phallic.
with very circular
angular rooms. Yeah.
It's got circular base. It's got two circular bases, and then it's got a very like cylindrical tower with a more rounded off,
The rounded top.
bulging top, and it's very phallic. And we stayed there, and
It's the tallest building there, right?
we had a good time. And then we
think
drove
so.
back Saturday because we had a show that night, so it was a lot of fun. But it was a good time. It was a good bonding time for the members that were there, and we had a great time. We're hoping for more of that. I think we'll be back there hopefully this summer, and we had a couple other festivals that we've been talking to.
Nice,
So-
yeah. Speaking of festivals, I think that was the last time I saw you was at Roots and Blues in Columbia. I ran into Andrew up there and had a real good time that weekend up there.
We did, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
It's a great Midwestern Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool to see so many of my favorite like locals on there also kind of, getting an opportunity to play in front of some big crowds, and then, also sharing the stage with some of their heroes. And, but yeah, like that was a great weekend.
That's kind of the cool thing about this whole music adventure is like getting to at least share like a lot of like the venues where I saw a lot of my heroes were now playing, and it's kind of cool. Like off Broadway where I see like Willie Watson come through, Amanda Shires, all these people, and then to get the chance to play there. And then the Ready Room where I've seen Coulter Wall and all these other guys. We're gonna be playing there on March 7th, and hopefully it just continues. And it's it's like it feels good to be like we're not quite like tiptoeing behind them at all, like by any means, but we get to feel what it feels like to like follow in their footsteps a little bit.
Sure, man. Yeah.
To hit up some of these venues, and I hope that continues where it's like eventually we're playing right before one of our heroes, and that to me would be like, I think I might die. Might as well just bury me a grave.
We open
right
for
there.
John Prine.
If we open for John Prine, I would probably shit my pants
On stage.
and then I would get up there and I probably would have a heart attack. And because I'm
So
sure
before
we'd
you
meet,
got up on
I'm sure we'd
stage,
meet John Prine. I might die before we get on stage.
I know.
If John Prine's like, man,
He would come out to play.
Andrew?
something. Yeah.
have a good show, and then I would just be like, oh, I have a heart attack.
Thanks,
right there,
Dad.
and fall over. and then John Prine, who's 140 years old, will be like, how did that guy die before me?
He's like dancing off the stage stuff.
And he'll just dance right by me.
Right.
He'll just dance right over my dead body.
Stay tuned for that.
I
2020.
I love John Prine. We got to see him there.
Yeah.
The Roots and Blues.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
That was my first time seeing John.
And then I saw him 2 weeks after at the Peabody.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed Jason Isbell's set
Oh, man.
and Amanda's set.
Don't get me started on Jason Isbell.
That guy's pretty good. He's got a couple good songs.
A couple, yeah. A few.
Did you see the Mavericks?
I tried. I didn't. I don't really get into them. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's not for me. Like,
Not.
I don't know. Like, I was like,
That was Saturday, right?
I think so. But yeah, they went on like right before it started to rain. I think I think that was it.
Yeah, it was. It
And
was like that same
and then
night.
they had to cancel.
And they had to cancel Ben Harper.
Yeah.
I didn't even
yeah.
go Saturday because we had a gig that day. So
Yeah, I think that. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that was a bummer that I had never seen Ben yet, and I was looking forward to that, and so that was really stinks. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to because I didn't really know much about the Mavericks, so I'd always like to go in an open mind and try to listen to it, and I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me.
Psychedelic Latin rock and roll.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know.
You gotta
they're-
check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're solid.
A lot of people love them. They just like sell out the pageant and do, like they do big stuff. So
It's a fun like party band, but too talented.
yeah,
yeah, it was funny because my girlfriend had like listened to a bunch of. I like told her to listen to a bunch of the bands before we went down there to see it. To see all these guys. And she listened to a bunch of these bands, and she was like, "I'm really excited to see." And then she listed off like 3 bands. I was like, all those people are on Saturday, and we're not going to be there Saturday. And she was really upset.
Man, how disappointing.
She ducked and rolled out of the car, and she's like, "I'm going."
But the biggest one was Ben Harper. She was like super stoked to see Ben Harper. But then since Ben Harper didn't even play, I was like, "See, now you don't feel that bad."
right.
And you got to see John Prine and Jason Isbell, so life's good.
Yep. Yeah, man. Amanda's coming back to St. Louis in April.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm playing off Broadway, so keep an eye out for that.
that's a good place to see like somebody with like 40 other people. Like there's like that place. Like I feel like it's hard to pack it. So like when I saw like one of my heroes, Willie Watson, it was like me and like 39 other people. There was like 40 people there, and I was like, this is so cool. Where you're like this close, and then he came out and he like works his own merch booth afterwards, and you're like, this is great. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Will you sign this?
Yeah, they
Thank
literally
you.
stepped down off the stage, it's like into
Sure.
they're right next to the crowd.
Right.
Some of
Super
that,
intimate.
some of that, like, I enjoy that, like, but I was also like, sometimes like there should be way more people here. Like, this is
that for sure. Yeah, that
like,
is frustrating.
It's like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's hard to pack that place, but it's like, it should be so easy. Like, it's in a great location.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw, there's a guy I really like, Sean Hayes, and he's he came in, and I don't remember what it was. It was like it might have been even a weeknight or something, but it was like, I remember it was like super underattended, and I was like, this guy's incredible, and like, there's no reason this place shouldn't be packed out, and he should, people should know his name more and stuff. And he doesn't come to St. Louis very often. I think that's a lot of it. Like, he doesn't have a big following here necessarily, so it's like, but so I got to like watch him with like 10 people, and like, I was having the time of my life, but I'm like, this is I wish there was more, so it enticed him to come back more often. And
he's not making as much money as he should be, and
right.
it's it's kind of the sad reality of like live music in general now, with like everybody's with Spotify making everything so easy, and everybody listening to music all the time at work, in the car, at home. It's not the same desire for new music when you could just type in somebody's name and get their whole discography for free.
Yeah.
Which is essentially free. When it used to be that you would have to go buy their album, or you could buy a ticket to their show for the same price and go see them, live. Now it's like none of that. It's like everything is at your fingertips. And why go see all these new people that you don't necessarily know that well if you can just look them up on Spotify?
You can listen to whatever you want.
And that's kind of the sad reality of it. And I don't think, I heard somewhere online, or I read somewhere online rather, that they were saying live music will be gone by like 2035.
No
and I disagree with that. Like, there's nothing like the
Never.
experience of live music. You can listen to all the great music you want on Spotify, but it's never going to replace the feeling I get when I share the same like air waves, like the same air in that room as that person, And when when you're singing along, hopefully quietly and not obnoxiously in the crowd, and you're like harmonizing with that person at that moment, I don't think that's something you can replace by just hearing them on Spotify.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I agree, man. Like, there's a energy that's created for sure in a room with like-minded individuals that are all there for, to see that artist or whatever it is, and so, yep. But there's something about it in a small venue too, especially like, like we mentioned off Broadway, or I go to a Broadway Oyster Bar a lot and stuff, and like I've gone to shows like at the Pageant, and like it just, even that, like if it's still a smaller venue, but like when you there's something lost sometimes, like when it be, then you put like 200 people in a small room, like, and it's such a better experience than 1,000 people in a theater or whatever. And it's like, so I don't know, there's something really great about those, and I've got to see so many of my favorites in small clubs on the way up. So like it's really difficult for me to go sit in the grass somewhere and watch them in an amphitheater or whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I feel that for sure. And since I've really gotten into a lot more like niche artists, I've spent a lot less time at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater or Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
I think I saw like 1 or 2 people there last year, but the amount of times I've been to Off Broadway to see people, and all these smaller venues has like skyrocketed, and it's definitely made me appreciate. It's given me a new appreciation for music. To kind of like dig my or get my boots dirty and kind of find all these people that might not have aren't ever going to make it at that huge level, but in my mind produce so much better music.
Sure. Yeah, man. Josh, you mentioned kind of some punk rock roots back in Chicago and stuff. Do you guys, as far as like your musical taste and stuff, do you all like listen to some similar stuff like you play, or do you guys all over the place with that?
I'm a big punk rock guy, whether it's new age pop punk or the old 90s, early 2000s punk. The band I was with, we played. We did a lot of covers, but we had some originals that we have some music videos for online actually The band's called First Impression. Rest in peace. But it was a good time. It taught me a lot about, like having to practice and really get things to sound the way you want in order to get to the next level. Because you can just play and improvise every night and, just play something different. But it was cool to work with a group like that with, playing music that I really love. And it kind of helped me realize that even if that project ended, I was going to keep playing music, whether it was. And before I met Andrew, I wasn't really into that kind of like folk rock and that kind of stuff. And now I catch myself listening to it all the time. And I really enjoy the music that we play.
Nice. I always think that's fun too. That kind of helps to give you guys unique sound too, because you're, like I said, like coming from a punk rock thing to playing a more folk rock and stuff, and like so you approach it differently than somebody else that had been playing folk or whatever, anything else. So it's like, yeah, I think that's always fun to see how it changes everything and stuff.
I think the diverse backgrounds that we have too in taste in music is
true.
Impacts the songs, and I think there's like the album that's coming out, there's a lot of diversity in what the sound is, because we have Big Muddy Blues that's kind of like a rockin', song that we encore with, and then we have lighter stuff like Well I Know, and yeah, we all kind of.
I feel like every practice you guys like, hey, check this song out, and I always walk out of every practice with like a new song to listen to on my playlist to work, it's cool. It's a lot of different minds from a lot of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Having some fun.
That's one of my favorite things. Like, just I feel like we all kind of get stuck in our bubble where it's like, you like what you like, obviously, and like your favorites on your playlist and things. But it's always really cool when somebody's like, "Here, check this out," like you did tonight, Andrew, and like introduce me to a new song and a new artist, and then it's like, and then you go home and you deep dive on that record or whatever it is, and you're like, man, this is, I'm so glad that they mentioned that or whatever it is. And I do a lot on a podcast also, like just somebody will mention an artist or whatever it is, and I'm like, so I'll go do some, especially since, like I said, we have everything on Spotify and at our fingertips. It's easy access to, but then I try to keep an eye out for when they do come to town and go see them and buy a record from them and stuff, and all comes full circle.
Turn on those notifications from bands in town.
Yeah,
is that the one?
go.
That's how I find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, who was that team you mentioned tonight? The song you played for us?
Oh, John Craigie, Dissect the Bird.
Yeah.
That's a really good song.
Yeah, that was, so check that out. That was,
it's a real good song. It sounds very novelty at first. And it kind of starts off very, very lighthearted, and then he gets very into like some very heavy stuff about like,
No pressure, bro.
You can't sweat. Yeah, you can't sweat the small stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
the universe went through a lot, and your mom and dad had to meet. They had to be long enough together long enough to make love and make you, and all of your ancestors exponentially before that had to do the same.
Sure.
Water had to freeze, and bad presidents had to get elected, good presidents had to get shot, and it's like it gets real heavy about like, you can't waste your life because the universe has done so much for you. And then he's like, no pressure though. The universe did a lot for you, but no pressure, bro. And it's really good. It's really good. And it really makes you think.
Yeah.
And he makes a good point. Never trust a musician who complains about his job. And that's a good point. We get paid to play guitar and drink beer and have fun with our friends. And if anybody complains about that, it's like, could go get a job picking up trash at a garage.
Right.
Or nobody's going to watch you do that.
Maybe Sauce on the Side is hiring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably a great job, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Truth.
Calzones,
Truth.
free calzones, probably. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely not a diss to them. Just another plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a wonderful company. You can apply at sauceontheside.com.
Great
.com.
calzones.
The careers tab. Yeah.
It'd be really nice to have like a sauce on the side banner at our release show.
Well, whenever I have
Show local
whenever I have
support.
friends come in town, the first place I take them is Sauce on the Side. And I'm
Well,
like, hey,
there is that one on Manchester right down the street from the Ready Room. So, you know,
Yeah.
you go.
really good.
Swing by there first and then come see
That's my
us.
favorite one.
Yeah.
We'll do a plug for that. Sauce on the side, whoever you are out there, get a hold of me. Andrew Dahle. You can find me on Facebook, okay? You get a hold of me.
DAHLE.
We'll work out all the logistics. I will get people to your restaurant and then get people from the restaurant to my gig.
Mm-hmm.
All right? March 7th, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Get at me.
That's all
Maybe throw a couple free calzones my way, especially Shane's way.
Please.
Specifically 6, so each member of the band can eat one.
Yeah. I mean, hey, crazier things have happened. So
True.
you get maybe,
I feel like they're a small enough place that's got such a good like local following. You know, they'll get a hold of us. I believe in you guys.
that,
They meet me in St. Louis.
yeah. It's delicious. Well, very cool. This has been a ton of fun, man. I really been having a good time hanging out down here, talking about Andrew and the Dahles. You can find, like I said, all that information and more on your Facebook and Instagram, and be sure to follow along wherever you're getting your digital music at, and you can keep an eye out for the brand new lead single, Big Muddy Blues, coming to a digital platform near you, and a full-length album on the way on March 7th at the Ready Room.
Yep.
So yeah, mark it on your calendar today. Grab them tickets at thereadyroom.com. But yeah, that's and
We'll
again,
link it to our website too at andrewandthedolls.com.
there you go.
So if you forget, andrewandthedolls.com will have a link to tickets.
And make sure you get there early because you're going to want to see some of our friends and very talented musicians, Hunter Peebles and Boxcar, the band. So both friends of the show. Also, if you if you want to go do some homework, you can. Boxcar, we actually didn't talk much about their original stuff. They actually. Jorge came on with Tim to talk about their...
Was it the Tom Waits?
The Tom Waits tribute. So we talked a lot of Tom Waits stuff. So we'll have to...
No way.
Unfortunately, we had a show that night. I really wanted to be there, and I hope they do it again. Yeah. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
But yeah, so it was a good hang. But it'd be fun to talk more about their original stuff too. And so, but yeah, I appreciate y'all doing this. It's been cool. And I'm excited to see what's next.
Thanks, yeah.
Like I said, when this record gets out there and get to give it a proper listen and everything.
We also got, we're also doing, oh, never mind. By the time this airs, that show will be over. Never mind.
You mean we're
gonna do
from the past?
We're going to do that. Yeah, from the past.
Yeah.
From the past.
We're doing the Haley Woolbright. We did the Haley Woolbright show on the 30th.
Well, you guys sounded great that night. It was really
It was a great time. Haley Woolbright really killed it. She did a
Didn't you
great
love the
job.
part where Andrew jumped out and like crowd surfed?
Oh yeah,
It was so
Now I have to
good.
make it happen.
he took his shirt off and he.
Yeah, right. And he twirled around his head and he said, "Yeah!" And then he jumped
It was
into
a
the
good time.
crowd. It was so cool.
It was a good time. People threw money at me. Somebody put money in my underwear.
That was me.
Oh, darn.
I had to make it look like they were really throwing it at you.
What's that? PD Pablo, right? That take your shirt
North
off.
Carolina.
Yep. Well,
Well,
that was a fun night.
Yeah, we
man.
appreciate you having us, Shane.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to help. I'm glad to be a part of all this. Like I said, it's always a lot of fun getting to talk about new music and stuff coming out of St. Louis. There's a crazy amount of talent right here in town, so big things are happening.
Yeah, St. Louis is a music town, right?
Yep. Hashtag.
Hashtag a music
Hashtag it.
town.
Yep.
St. Louis is also a calzone town.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
We're starting that hashtag.
Okay, you're starting to look desperate, Josh.
I just love them, man.
Time, it seems, will go on forever until it slips from your hands through the cracks in your fingers and it's gone. You'll be old and gray and covered in feelings of loss and regret. Though your memory is fleeting, then it's gone. 'Cause a lot of love, it burns on till you're gone. Burns so bright that it flickers and it's gone. And a lot of love, it burns out and you're gone. Oh, when you're gone. Life's a burden if you don't find things worth holding to your chest, loving and protecting till they're gone. So live like to last, no parachute on your back, falling towards the earth head first in the deepest depths of It's a lot of love, it burns on till you're gone. Burns so bright that it flickers and it's gone. Lot of love, it burns on till you're gone. Burns so bright that it flickers and it's gone. Yeah, a lot of love, it burns out when you're gone. Oh yeah, when you're gone. 'Cause a lot of love, it burns on till you're gone. Yeah. Burns so bright that it flickers and it's gone. Lot of love, it burns on till you're gone. Burns so bright that it flickers and it's gone. Yeah, a lot of love, it burns out and you're gone.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.